Hey guys, I'm Garrett.
And I will.
And together we're two cowards who don't even smoke crack. This is a podcast dedicated to reviewing the musical works of Lee Carter, aka Lee Dawg, aka Cobra, aka Rip, aka Diamondback, or as you may know him, Viper. Between the two of us, we have 0 years of experience in reviewing music or really professional criticism of any kind. In some ways, this makes us perfect to review Viper because we too know what it feels like to be devoid of any sort of talent.
I think that this week that's true more than ever.
I don't know about that.
I'm also really glad that I'm editing now, so I have to deal with that mess at the beginning of the episode.
No, it's okay. I cut all that out. You're good.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It just kept restarting. This is our full disclosure, everybody. This is our third attempt at starting this episode. Both of us are incredibly tired. Both of us had like a at least 2 hour drive at late last night. Got very little sleep. So this is going to be an interesting episode.
This is a wake-up call. Where do you want to start? What's your poison to start with here?
I have the most notes on Crack Dealer, so let's start there.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then I do want to hear, before we finish the episode, I do want to hear about the Viper.
Yeah, the Spotify issues. Okay, well let's go with Crack Dealer first then. So I just went through and figured out what they all are. You drop in your notes as you have them. So let's start with They Hatin', Bro.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that is Hatin' on Me from 5'9" Piru, which is an album we also listened to this week.
Right. I was not aware that was the first, that one came first. I was under the impression that Crack Dealer came first.
It's all right. That's the only time that album is on this one, so no big deal. You have anything else for They Hatin', Bro?
My only note is, so we rocking with Satan now? Because one of the verses is just the most garbled, demonic mess that I have ever heard of a voice filter on
Oh,
Viper.
Is it the hating on me? Is it that?
I honestly don't even know. I don't know that those were words that were being said.
I love that that's just the first thing. That's the hook. He's like, what's going to get people in? I know.
I'm going to put every fucking filter on my voice that Fruity Loops has. I'm just going to
Gozer is here, and he is hating.
The other note I have is I just really like, we're starting off strong with the weird mid-syllable slant rhymes on this one.
Yeah.
All girls are cute. All his women are cute, fine, sexy, and class E. And then he also...
Yep.
And he also says nah thing a little bit later on. I don't know what he rhymes that one with.
That's a classic.
Death Before Dishonor.
That's B4, like is in battleship numbers. Or bingo, if you prefer. This is They Ain't Feelin' Me from Southwest Hooligan. You like that? That work? That do good for you?
Battleship was good. I like that.
So, this is They Ain't Feelin' Me from Southwest Hooligan.
Yep.
I don't know why.
My only note is, come on, man, what a shit follow-up, because...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that one.
It starts off really strong with They Hatin', Bro, and not in a good way. It's just very bold. It's very very bold.
It is that.
And then he follows it up with the most boring fucking song on the planet.
Well, let's just move right on then to Snitchin' Boys, which
Boys.
Of all of the things that you might think this song actually is, it's actually Hustlin' and Winnin' from Southwest Hooligan.
I don't have any notes for this one, although I do want to say that about at this point, I became vividly conscious of how thankful I am for you and for all the work that you do on this podcast.
Because you knew I would figure out what they all were.
Yes, because I'm officially at the point where I can no longer differentiate Viper albums. I know I recognize the songs. I'm like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
But I can no longer remember what fucking album any of these songs are on.
It wasn't this one. It was You'll Never Smoked Crack that we'll get to later. But I was able to decipher that one. I didn't even have to look it up. I just knew them at this point.
That's absurd.
Because it's a little bit of a spoiler. The albums that's not an original album.
Right.
And all of the songs are from albums he's already done many, many copies of. Right. So we'll get there. But this one, let's move on to Paper Watcher. This is Mark Steady Clickin', also from Southwest Hooligan.
Yeah.
anything for this one? You watch any paper?
It was called Hater Watcher on the one that I listened to.
That's great.
And I'm pretty sure he's already used the word or the song title Hater Watcher to describe a different remix of an entirely different song.
Yeah, he's definitely said hater watcher, or like watching these haters for the I'm a major flosser, I'm a hater tosser thing.
Oh god, I
which
forgot that
we might get it. Yeah, we might get one of those later. Let's move on to Money on Deck. That is It's Me from Southwest Hooligan.
I think I listened to a different version of Crack Dealer because I have pretty different names.
That's fine. It can't be that different.
The next one no, it's very different. The next one that I have is That Top Mauler Infamy Hustlin'.
Oh, that's the next one for me.
Oh, okay. I skipped a song then. My apologies.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, well, let's move on to that. That's Infamy Hustlin' from Rich and Not Famous, of course.
There's a lot of infamy on this album.
There is some really great names on this one.
Yeah.
Anything for That Top Mauler Infamy Hustlin'?
This is probably the worst example in recent memory of Viper's vocals and Viper's voice track ruining an otherwise decent song.
Yeah.
I quite like the beat. The beat is weird. Again, it's pretty experimental. It's got a lot of different instrumentation in it. But Viper has two. It's the thing where he does the two Vipers that are not quite synced up.
Yeah, but they're standing like different distances from the mic on opposite sides of the room.
Yeah, but this one's even worse because one of them sounds completely god-awful. It sounds like he recorded it through a tin can. And then the other one, he has this robotic voice filter over it. And so it's so discordant and so terrible.
I think it's like he did an original recording with just one, and then he did the robot thing over that, and then he did it again separately, so instead of just doubling lyrics. The voice track. Yeah, I don't
make
know,
sure that you got all the lyrics, all the great lyrics from this song.
Let's
also
just scoot up. Go ahead. No. You go for it.
On the version that I listened to, I don't know if it was on the version you listened to, but there was 45 straight seconds of silence.
Yes.
At the end of this song.
Well, that's where the infamy comes in.
Right.
Viper, as we know, is infamous for leaving unnecessary gaps in the end of his song. So that's
Oh my god, infamy hustling.
You Gon Be Wit a Real G.
Yes.
You would think that would be any of the songs that talk about being a real G, or
Correct.
You Gon Be With Me. This is something from Rich and Not Famous. I'm not sure which one. Unfortunately, The Genius does not have lyrics for most of the songs on that album, so I know it's one of them, but the names on that original album don't make any sense either, so...
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting, Garrett. I want you to pay close attention here. So
wait,
next up is called...
No, I don't want to move on yet.
Okay, you got something for You Gon Be With a Real G?
Yeah, You Gon Be Real... Oh, I think I wrote it down wrong. All right, never mind. No, when I heard this song the first time, I almost took back everything I ever said about Viper using auto-tune because it's so laughable on this song. It kind of grew on me near the end of the song to where I was kind of like, all right, this is fucking goofy, but it's fine. I think it was, in a weird way, it kind of worked because the beat itself is very, very simple. It's like literally just hi-hat and snare.
Right.
And then he's just literally just Ice JJ fishing all over the fucking auto-tune on it.
It's so rough because it's like you get used to Southwest Hooligan again because he does it like randomly 3 songs in a row, 2 songs in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 in a row even. And then all of a sudden he's like right in the heart of Rich and Not Famous.
Right.
And that switch just does not work at all.
Not at all.
Especially it goes Southwest Hooligan song, Infamy Hustlin', which is whatever, and then 45 seconds of silence, and then right into this.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
All right,
moving on.
That Pistol Play Love is Who I Love from The Best Piece in Chain. Then we have And Look Towards a Realsta, Infamy Swag. I don't know what Realsta is, but that's the name. That's the name.
Hold on, I have my favorite lyric from this album.
Okay.
I actually have 2 favorite lyrics from this album, but the first one is from That Pistol Play Love.
Okay, yep.
And it's just where he keeps going, conceited, yes. Arrogant, yes.
Yes.
Narcissistic, yes.
Yeah, I like that on the original too. That's just That's really, really funny.
I did not notice it on the first one, on the first listen
Yeah.
of the best piece in chain, and it comes through a lot better here, and it's the funniest fucking thing on the planet.
Yeah, it's not quite as funny the second time, but it's also not quite as funny the third time, but we'll get there. So yeah, it and looks towards a realsta infamy swag
I
is
thought that one was
infamy
kind of
swag.
good. I thought that one was
I
fine.
mean, it's infamy swag from Rich and Not Famous. I think that's the best of the infamy songs.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's cool. I'm down with that. How about this here is a hustler's hustle of infamy? That is the hustle of infamy from Rich and Not Famous.
Oh my god.
You have anything for this one?
It's the funniest fucking song.
It is.
On
That
the
is
planet.
a funny. Here's a fun one.
This
Viper.
might be. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
putting a note
Viper.
down for this here hustler's hustle of infamy. That might be my new favorite Viper song name.
Viper touching the roof of the gym is the next song,
Correct.
which you might think that's the song jumping out the gym from Best Piece in Chain or Rich Not Famous. But in fact, it's Who I Love again from the Best Piece in Chain. So we just had that on That Pistol Play Love, and now what? Two songs later, here it is again.
The only note I have for this one is, come on, man.
Well, keep that in your pants because you're gonna have to break it out again. Because here comes "I'll Have You Crying to Your Mama in a Hoop Game." That is Hustle of Infamy.
Hold on, no. I'll have the letter U crying to "You Are Mama" in a hoop game. My only note here, bruh.
Yeah. This is Hustle of Infamy again. Again, that was literally 2 songs ago.
Yes.
So that is of the last 5 songs, there are really only 3 of them. So that's pretty funny. He didn't even try. But then he tried again for some reason, I guess, with "I Know Why Boys Want a Tag on My Toe." That is "Wit You for the Long Haul" from Best Piece in Chain. This hook still slaps. I still think the hook is cool. The verses are terrible, but I like this hook.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yep. Here's a fun one that you might be deceived. The name of this next song is "Don't Never Take Life Not Serious." You might think that is "Life Ain't a Joke." Instead, it's "Can't Stop Me from Snowbirdin' from Rich and Not Famous. I don't know why, but that's okay. And that is a song with a cool hook. I just love him singing, like, "You can't keep me from snowbirding." It's like, take you fiber. Yeah. Or it's like, "Now I know, yeah, I'm ballin' for sure."
For whatever reason, I knew that you were gonna do some singing. I wasn't sure which song it was gonna, or which album it was gonna be on.
You could feel it. You could sense it.
I could feel, because there's some ballads this week. There are some ballads this week, and I knew that you would do your beautiful Viper rendition.
My interpretation. I think it's pretty good, to be fair.
It is very good.
It's pretty accurate.
It's pretty good.
Sometimes I got to, because I don't know exactly how many people have ever heard these before, so I got to make sure they get a taste. So there you go. How about the next one? "Just Let Me Take Control Your Mind," not of your mind, just your mind.
Yep.
You might think that is the song "Let Me Take Control." It's not. It's "Jumping Out the Gym" from Rich and Not Famous. I think he mixed up the names, but also, who cares?
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's all I gotta say. And then this is my favorite title of this album: "Top Stanga Made Infamy Swaggin'." I don't know what this is. It definitely sounds familiar, but I have absolutely no idea what this is.
I didn't have the note. I didn't have any notes for the last 4 songs, just because it starts to run together, man.
So I gave this album a 2.
I gave this maybe one a 4.
It may not even deserve what I gave it, but it's a good mix, I think. It's an interesting... It's not like, I don't know, 2 songs of one album and then 13 songs of another.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. It's actually a good mix of things from a whole bunch of stuff, which is not as bad as it could be.
He does chop and screw a lot of them as well, or he fucks with a lot of the vocals, or he throws a filter on or something like that.
Sort of effort, yes. But also there are 4 I guess, 2 songs that are copied. So there are 4 songs that are 2 songs that are right next to each other.
Right.
And that's kind of hard to excuse, but I mean, there are so many Viper albums that if they were 13 songs long instead of 15 songs long would be like significantly better albums.
Yes, because I agree.
But it's like he has to get to 15 even if it kills him, and a lot of time it just does.
And a lot of time it does kill him.
Well, let's move on.
Hold on. My other favorite lyric from this album, I don't know what song it was off of, and I can't believe we never... I feel like we may have talked about it offline. I don't think we talked about it on the on an episode.
Okay.
But against me, men form an alliance, and I finished them because of they defiance is such a hard ass line.
Yeah,
that
there's
so hard.
There's some hard lyrics in the fucking 5'9" Pure Music album.
The album, the label.
Yeah. Do you want to go there, or do you want to go to You'll Never Smoked Crack? Want to get You'll Never Smoked out of the way?
Fuck it. I didn't write any notes for that one, so let's just...
All right, well, we can burn through this pretty fast because, as I alluded to before, what do you think this album is about? Read this title, You'll Never Smoked Crack. You probably think it's a remake of You'll Cowards Never Smoked Crack, but in a way, it's not. And by that I mean, well, you'll see. So here's Crushing These Pussy Boys is the first one. That is, This Is For from, wait for it, Paper Man. Next we have Everywhere, where he like just cranked up that sample to the point where it's way louder than his voice and you can't hear him anymore.
Yeah.
This is actually me, Find Me Poppin' Pills, Snortin' Powder, Blastin' Hard from Paper Man. Next we have Find Me Ballin'. That's the Paper Man from Paper Man. How about Folding That Cheddar? That's See a Baller Bling and Sting from Paper Man. Hater Tosser, of course, that's...
Bling and Sting is off of Paper Man. That doesn't seem like it fits. Interesting.
I agree. Hater Tosser, that's I'm a Major Flosser and a Hater Tosser from Paper Man. Hop It, that's Hop It, Drop It from Paper Man.
I've forgotten all of the fucking names from Paper Man. This is so good.
These are the ones that as soon as I heard them, I recognized them because we've heard so many Paper Mans. Here's a good one. In the Life of a Top Choice Assassin. That's In the Life of a Baller, comma, Two-Hand Hanger Dunk Caller from Paper Man. Next, Let's Ride. In parentheses, You'll Never Smoked Crack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, you're right. This is Motherfuck Your Record Company from Paper Man. How about Major Flossin'? Oh, that's I'm Thugged Out Ballin' from Paper Man. These are 2 really great names that Viper came up with. How about Stangin' Thick? Oh yeah, that's Stangin' Licks from Paper Man. How about Thick Grindin'? Yeah, that's Hustlin' Thick from Paper Man.
God damn it.
You a Dime is You Fine Get Up from Paper Man. How about You Don't Fuck Wit That White? That's You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack.
That's my favorite fucking part. That's my favorite fucking part is because we have made the comment I have said a million times. You know, we never really hear remixes of like all of these things. And then he fucking throws it in right at the fucking end.
Hold on though. Right. Because You Never Do Drugs, the next song, is also You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack. Back to back, baby. Next we have We Gon' Ride, which is We Gon' Ride from Paper Man. And then When You Groove It is When You Move It from Paper Man. So yes, the album called You'll Never Smoked Crack is 13 songs from Paper Man and 2 versions that not even versions, they are identical copies of You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he may have done something that's like not readily noticeable, but like virtually identical versions of You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack.
They take up the same amount of time. That's all I saw.
I really hope that he's making up for lost time here, and we're just gonna hear in the middle of the next like 6 albums, we're gonna hear 2 identical versions of You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke
It's like
Crack.
He's like, oh shit, I forgot to put it in the last like 15 albums I crapped out. I'll just do it now.
I gotta go do that now. Or I hope he releases. I hope one of the albums that we hear is 15 fucking You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack that are all the exact same.
I gave You'll Never Smoke Crack.
I would live stream the shit out of that.
That would be really funny. I gave this album a 2, one for each You'll coward who don't even smoke crack. One for each coward, one might say.
One for each coward.
What a letdown. I was really hoping this would at least be the whole album, because we haven't heard it in a while. But like, of all of the things for him to do, he just did Paperman again?
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah. Why?
The weirdest thing is that You'll Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack is his favorite album that he's ever done, right? He has said that. I've said that a million times. He does... It's weird because not only does he not do remixes of songs from that album all that often compared to a lot of his other albums, he also doesn't do any of the, like, the music... Like, he doesn't have similar music to that album on pretty much any of his other albums. I mean, there's like, I think there's 1 or 2 albums that are kind of similar, but aside from that, in a discography of like a couple thousand albums, he very, very rarely either reuses those songs or does anything new or novel similar to those songs. So I think that's, I don't know. I think that's interesting.
I do too. Well, hey, how about a totally new album?
Yeah.
Let's get right into 5'9", Piro Music, the gang, the album, the label. Let's get right into Catch Me. So the first thing that's gonna stick out to you here is that Viper barks a lot. That's correct. He does. This. Like, Puppy Dog Viper is just barking, just ruh, ruh.
He also growls
in the beat all the time. He like snarls a lot, and it's really odd. And it's not the same sample. It's like you can tell he's doing a different like barking sample.
He's ad-libbing a lot. Yeah,
which is cool, but it all sounds really weird and out of place.
And it's not on every single song on the album either. It's only on like half of them.
It's like he did it for the first 2, and then he stopped, and then he just did it kind of again later. Anyway, let's get into this. I'm gonna read the entire... It's like a good block of text because I thought this was a pretty cool verse and hook.
Okay.
So you go ahead and do it, or you can do your notes before or after if you have any, but I'm just gonna read these off. I'm too major while these fellas are minor. It's always me the models pick for several reasons. One of them is because I'm rich. These dudes come to war being refused to accept the news. I show foes no empathy. That's just a product of the rivalry. An understatement is that I see a lot of cash in the grind. I'm the top. I'm seeing new paper every winning. Dudes see my shoes knowing they couldn't fill 'em. Other men's mental faculty just don't compare to me. These boys' paper ain't increasable. 'Cause I make sure that ain't feasible. I hit so many licks, my life is like one big picnic. I treat these men with no regard. They all competition, so I pull they card. These boys getting cash in decreasing seconds, while my cash revenue is way too hectic. Did you notice a single bar that rhymed?
Not particularly, no. There were also several that did not make any grammatical or lexical sense at all.
My favorite is, I hit so many licks, my life is like one big picnic.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. That's a stretch, but that's pretty good. I'm imagining Viper on a picnic blanket, and he's just he's eating an ice cream, and that's actually makes me really happy.
I actually do like this hook that catch me chillin', catch me laxin', catch me ballin', catch me relaxin', catch me parlaying, catch me pretty girl stacking. It's so good. You ready to move on to fuck fame?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to cut. You're gonna have to cut something out right there. I accidentally played like a solid 4.5-5 seconds of Viper's album "To Burn a Police Alive."
Well, it didn't come through the speaker, but I'm sure it's on your end, so I'll fix that.
It's 100% on my end, so that's great.
All right.
We got a baller Haitian track.
Yeah, we do have baller Haitian. That's my note.
That's also my note, is just the word baller Haitian. And then
So
my next
here's
note, this album sucks.
this album has some great hooks and some of the worst verses I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So this song has an intro, another yeah, here's for these pussy ass N-words. I'm letting y'all busters know it's motherfucking me back. And then this hook, again, very simple, super stupid, but so catchy. Like, I'm watching out for these busters. Don't run up because I don't trust ya.
Yeah.
This ain't no game. I'm letting these dudes know I'm coming back, screaming fuck fame. And then he just goes right into it. And into it is the same just nondescript terrible shit.
Yes.
Like, my game plan is priceless. They top floss 100% lick.
All right, that is the worst fucking example. That is literally like you just put like Viper lexicon into a blender and
that is the final bar from the first verse. That is what he ended the first verse with. That is not like super out of context. That's just he wanted to end the verse that way.
You know, did you mention this? Were we recording when you mentioned that you watched an interview with Viper where he said
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
Yeah. Go
So yeah,
go
I'll drop that here. I was watching an interview from like 4 years ago. He was on some radio show. Also, Viper, when he's not doing his acts, I guess, he's pretty coherent. Like he speaks well, and was very like respectful to the DJs that were hosting the show.
Yeah.
And they asked him like, the normal questions, but the one that stuck out to me was like, you rap about crack and like that's a real like big deal in Houston. And Viper was like, yeah, I think that a lot of people don't, handle it well, and it's become this whole thing. But at the end of the day, crack's really no worse than weed for you.
That.
And he just says it so casually.
Yeah.
Like he's convinced himself that is true.
All right, so I want you to do something for me, Will. I want you to say that quote again and then immediately follow it up with that last bar that you read, just so we get that good juxtaposition.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it back up again so I get it right. I wouldn't want to deny the world of this. So, at the end of the day, hold on. Did I lose it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. At the end of the day, crack is no worse for you than weed. My game plan is priceless. They top floss 100% lick.
That's your brain on crack, ladies and gentlemen. That's what crack cocaine does to your body. Smoking weed does not do that to you.
It does things to you, but it does not do that.
It does not make you lose your knowledge of the English language.
I want to wrap it up. Fuck Fame also has more barking.
Yes.
And there's the line, of course, my cake steak is above estimation and helps create baller Haitian.
Baller Haitian.
The baller Haitian lore continues. That's all I really have to say.
There's absolutely no, we have no further evidence for what it means.
It's like I guess this is a weird bit, but you might remember this. There is an entity of sorts at our university of I would call this person an older person seeking further education who carries around their small child in a large duffel like rolling bag. And we had this expression that as long as you don't look at this person, they don't exist. And I like to think that baller Haitian is the same way. It can't hurt you if you don't look at it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I had that same mentality for another character at our college, the opera singer from.
That's another great point. That is another great point.
As long as you don't acknowledge it, it can't hurt you. If you close your eyes, object permanence will protect you. All right, let's move on to
Genius Gangsta, the double
G.
I loved this one, honestly.
This is my favorite Viper song of all time. This is so fucking funny.
Shall I read the hook?
I want you to read as much as you can. This is the funniest fucking thing ever.
Have you ever seen a G who was literally a Genius? Yes, that's me, a double G. Have you ever seen a G who scored top 99%? on the SAT, who was accepted to every Ivy League university. Yes, I'm a double G.
Couple things I want to point out there.
Number
Number one, first and foremost, top 99% on the SAT means that he's in the bottom 1%. That means that 99% of people who took the SAT scored higher than him.
Dude, I'm in the 99th percentile.
The percentile is different than the percent. Percentile is different than percent.
Dude, technically, first place is also in the top 99%. You just have to not be in the bottom 1%. It could be anywhere.
That's fair. My other note is, on God Viper, you got into
every
Ivy League, and you chose the University of Houston. Like, no shade to UH, like it's a good school, but I would think that if you got into every single Ivy League college, that you would choose at least one of them. One of them had to suit your fancy. And even if it's like, I didn't want to leave Houston, Rice University is in Houston and is like comparable to an Ivy League school in terms of quality of education.
Why would I want to get an education from a grain?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Their mascot is also owls, and that's fucking dumb.
Yeah. I got a few more lyrics from this one.
Oh, please. This is the best thing that I've ever heard.
I'm the classed. I'm the classed cause I keep my licks. I'm playing pick up cash while they playing pick up sticks. That's pretty funny.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm picking up cash while they're playing pick up sticks, you see. They're not focused on the right games. They!
Who is they?
The Busters!
Are the Busters aged 4 to 7? Like, who the fuck is playing pickup sticks? What are you talking about, Viper?
My hustle and shine is indestructible. I ball in big bling for all of the ladies, and make sure these men tap out. Eat my stacks.
Eat my stacks. That's the name of the episode. Eat my stacks.
Maybe.
I don't know what it means, but I know that I mean it.
I'm ready to move on to hating on me.
I'm upset that we have to move on, but I am also ready.
The only note I have is hating in all caps, and then a bunch of spaces, and then hating in all caps again, because that's really all you need to know about this hook. Just the hating on me. It's plain to see. Hating. It's awful. It feels like you're being hypnotized. I don't know.
He's really got kind of a repertoire of words. He's got a really or phrases rather, that he just says all the time. Hustling, shining, it's
shining, grinding.
Yep. All these things are in at least one song on like every fucking album. The only note I have for hating on me is, quote, I hate that this is happening, end quote. That's the only thing that I have written down for this song.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
I'm also ready to move on.
My note for this song is called I Know. I'm pretty sure this is original, but it sounds so much like everything else.
Very familiar, yeah. I wasn't sure if this was all original. When I listened to it, I could not tell if ever. I knew that most of them, or some of them at least, were original that I had never heard before. But there were some that were like,
it's original. It's just lame.
Hey,
honestly.
A minute. Wait a second here.
What?
Viper Vivo. The Viper Vivo YouTube page. The picture that he has there is the album art for Best Piece and Chain Ever Made.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that he's so proud of that he would make it his own. The Vivo's fucking.
Of course.
That's awesome. Good for him.
It's not the version with the rapper posted under it, though.
No, it must be the original. The original copy.
So, let's just move on to "I'm the Only One."
Yeah, I don't have any notes for this one.
The reason that this one stuck out to me is because he sounds like a hoglin from the Minecraft Nether. The growl, the dog bark sounds much more like a pig sound. I also have the line, "Cuties call me they insurance, while hustlers stack paper with endurance."
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'm ready to move on.
I'm also ready to move on.
Imagination. The only note I have is gun game alert 45 caliber pistol again.
Yep.
So
I have that there's 2 Baller Haitians on one album because Imagination also has an instance of Baller Haitian coming up in the lyrics. I was pretty happy about that. I
did not read any of those, but I did notice
some
that
hearts around it, which is pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. I still don't know what it means.
Baller Haitian, but that's the only other note. You ready for In This Lifetime?
I'm sure am.
My note is this is lame. You ready for Mullen to the next level?
Yeah.
I said this is also lame.
The only thing I had, the beat ain't bad on that one.
It's fine. These two are like, they're just fine. This is the point where it's like
if there were 13 songs on a Viper album, they would be way better.
Maybe 12. There's one near the end that I think is also very meh. But hey, I will honestly though, it's kind of soul-sucking to hear really uninspired, standard-ass Viper music. But like, it's better than some of the other shit we've been hearing, right? Like, this is better than a fucking Cobra record.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. Let's move on to My Cash Made So Simple.
I was gonna say, I've been pleasantly surprised kind of recently with how many like somewhat original tracks we've been getting, even if we're not getting full albums. We've been getting some original stuff, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's about time.
It'd be a fucking drag if we didn't have anything original every single fucking week.
This is a really, like, I won't say it's a good hook or even like a good Viper hook, but this is like a quintessential Viper hook, I think. Like if you made like the machine to spit out Viper hooks, this is one. Like this is top tier regular ass Viper.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it. This is
machine learning Viper. This is
this is fine.
Viper.
There's no interesting lyrics. There's no interesting hook to it. Like the hook is just a Viper hook. So if you ever wanted to like try to point out like the median Viper song, this might be it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on to The Blood of This Blood because it actually has some cool stuff in here.
Go for it.
So there's a lyric, I think it's part of the hook, which is kind of long. This is The Blood of This Blood. He says, "Boys want my life and I ain't trippin'. Always ready, always willin'. If the hollow points fly, I'll be chillin'. Forever blood, even if mine is spillin'." That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
And then my cash game is endless. I only chill with girls, not dudes, so I'm friendless.
I like that.
Less cool, but funny.
I like that.
I don't know. The hook's really cool. Just like he makes the gang thing sound, I don't know, like more. I don't know. He's clearly very proud of his gang background.
Is he a 5'9" Piru Crip? Is that what he is?
Blood.
Oh, excuse me. Whatever.
That's the forever blood. Like he's forever a blood, even if his is spilling.
I see.
Yeah.
That hook is good. I like that.
Yeah.
Hook.
You ready to move on to The Life of Me?
I sure am.
This one's also boring. Also, Puppy Viper is back.
Yeah.
But it's like he just got neutered. He just doesn't have the heart here.
Yeah,
it's
just very weak.
He's like, woof. Woof. Yep, I'm here. It's like this was the first one and he wasn't quite comfortable doing it yet.
He was about to get put down.
Yeah, so kind of boring. That was the most interesting part, was that he kind of just didn't do his own dumb audio
the thing that he tried to do
thing.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of this whole album. This album's shtick, and he's just half-assing it. Only Viper would make a shtick for an album and then half-ass it to the point that it's like on three.
But by the end, he's bored of it.
5 songs, and one of them is a fucking joke.
You ready to move on to These Boys Are Soft?
I'm ready to just end it all.
So in the hook, he calls boys cherries, which I think is funny because we know someone that we used to call Cherry.
That's true.
But also, this line I think is pretty much this says a lot about Viper. All the ladies call me they present. That's why they always feelin' me. So pleasant. Excuse me. So pleasant. I'm all they ask for in they life. It hurts these boys and chops them like a knife. In parentheses, cut them up. Again, this is how he chooses to end a verse.
Cut them up.
He's like, cut him up, and there's no excitement. I think he's given up here.
I've given up.
The album, the gang, the label, the man, the myth, the legend has given up, and you can really feel it in the next one, this right here. Mm-hmm. My first note is, damn, he's actually going to make a full new album. Like, we made it to song 14 and it's still new, so I know it's going to be fine. This is the most bog standard Viper song ever.
Yeah.
The hook is just fucking like bad paper. It's like Hop It level from Paperman.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's just so
entirely
boring.
Forgettable.
Which is funny because there's some really interesting stuff on the last song, Time Waits for Me Only. I wanna give you this hook because again, this is a good hook. I don't know where this was for like half of the songs, but time waits for no one except when it comes to me. You probably seen me this week, hustling deep in these streets, top grinding, big ballin', winning major, cash crawling. It was me. They were right, stinging licks day and night. When it comes to me, I keep these dudes resentful, cause pretty chicks keep my bed eventful.
That's so good.
That's so good.
That's so good. I gotta hand it to him there.
That's pretty good.
To the man.
But that's it. That's the album.
We did it. The album art for this one's fucking hilarious too.
Yeah.
It's atrocious. I don't know what half the shit on here is supposed to be. I don't know what is supposed to be behind the picture of, I guess, young Viper, because that is definitely not 2013 Viper.
Yeah.
At
well,
all.
I have a little bit of background.
Okay.
So that weird star thing behind him, that is the like graffiti gang symbol for the Bloods.
That's kind of what I guessed.
So that is the specific one for the 5'9" Puros.
Interesting.
Although I don't think you're supposed to put your own face on it.
Right.
So, you know, keep that to yourself, I guess. But
it's very weirdly cropped too. Like if you look at the picture, at the very top, there's just a big black box behind the P in Viper. And then on the star with where his picture is. Sorry, I know this is a auditory thing, but for those of you guys who aren't driving, please look this up. Or when you get to your destination, look this up. The star with his picture on it is both behind and in front of his picture. It is so bizarrely
done.
That
is exactly something that I wanted to point out.
Okay, good.
Well, there's also two versions of this album art that I've noticed. One of them has the rapper normal, like it just looks normal. It's in the same font as the Viper and the rest of the words. And then there's another version where everything is like blown out and the rapper is on like a white text box.
Fuck yeah.
And that's where the P, you can really see that weird box over it. Yeah. So I don't know. I know that all of those have meanings. I think that the star is like a territory thing, and the pyramid in the bottom is like a warning, like a no trespass, basically. I don't know what the other thing in the weird highway sign. I assume that's something to do with Houston.
Yeah.
It's
5'9"
bad.
is probably like I-59. Does I-59 go through Houston?
I don't know.
Houston. Yes, I-59 does go through Houston.
Well, there you go. Cool.
Interesting.
So, what do you want to do now? You want to hear about next week, or do you have
No, I want to hear
questions?
About the Viper Spotify.
Right. Okay, so I was going on, I guess I should have remembered that. I was going on earlier to find what we needed to listen to for next week. And Spotify, at least on the online version, has gone through a major like UI update. And it looks kind of just different for the sake of different.
Yeah.
Which is, what else do you expect? But I went to the Viper the Rapper page, and there are probably 15 albums on there.
What?
I went to the Viper page, just Viper, and there are probably 20 albums on there.
I don't like that.
Literal hundreds of Viper albums are just gone from Spotify.
A lot of those albums, that was the only place to find them.
Yeah, so I think that unless they come back, I'm going to be digging through Bandcamp. I don't know if they're on there or not.
Jesus God.
But we might be in some trouble. Well, we might have to do some other Viper-related activities, some movie reviews or something. But I was able to find 3 for next week, so we're good.
What's lucky about reviewing Viper rather than any other artist is that, you know, I said I've been surprised with how many original stuff, but there can't be that much more. There can't be that much more original albums. So it really doesn't matter if we listen to them in order at this point, because they're all going to be the same.
We listened to Kill Yourself, My Man 2 that probably came out in like 2015, which is 2 or 3 years ahead of all this, and it had nothing that we hadn't heard before on it.
Right.
Before we do next week, do we want to do the what she listened to instead?
Yeah, go for it. Go first.
So on the day that this will come out, assuming that we get our upload schedule in order, and this comes out on Wednesday the 21st, I think that's right. Check out Caro Bonito's Civilization 2 that is out today, on the day the 21st. So if that's not today, then you'll know that I'm the worst and I can't edit for shit. But that is something to keep in mind. That's going to be something I'm looking forward to. So give that a look.
Hell yeah.
Are you the one who forgot to think of one this week?
Yeah, I am the one who forgot to think of one this week. I had a couple floating in the back of my head, but I haven't really. Oh, let's go with what's the name of that album? Hold on, give me a second.
Hello, audience. Garrett's gone now.
No, I'm right back. I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here. I just got to Google something.
Did you have to go get the Google off the shelf?
I grabbed my phone, but I realized that I'm sitting in front of my computer. My brain no work today.
I'm gonna ask Google what album Garrett is looking for. Album?
Go listen to the album Curiosity by Wampire. Wampire. It's psychedelic pop.
Yeah.
With some synth and some house music influence. It's really good. I listened to the whole thing while driving home this morning, and it was a really interesting experience, just being tired out of my mind. And I think I spilled something on the floor. That's not good. Just tired out of my mind. I've literally slept 3 hours in the past 36.
Well, according to Google, you're actually looking for Michael Jackson's 5th solo album, Off the Wall, as your album of the week. So there you go.
I also I'm a big MJ fan. I haven't been listening to him recently, but what do we listen? Also Atticus Lane for the use of our
Atticus Lane, of course. Shout out for the theme song.
Go listen to his music.
I agree. For next week, first, these rappers claim they hard. End of name. That's the end of the name. Just these rappers claim they hard.
That is fucking impossible to find, Will.
Well, it's not anymore if you go on Spotify, because there's not that much left.
I don't like this.
It is scorched earth over there.
I like YouTube because I log in on I don't want to fuck with my my Spotify algorithm and get suggested Viper songs. So I
probably should do the same thing if I were smart. But
I listen to it on the Two Cowards YouTube page so that I don't get suggestions on my personal YouTube account. This
next
is a job
for
me. I have it completely separated from my personal
life. I'm glad.
Nothing Viper related ever comes into my mind outside of this.
I am very glad for you. Next up is A Hustler's Life.
All right.
Finally, we have Death Awaits You 3.
Quick question. About Death Awaits You 3. Have we listened to Death Awaits You 1 or 2?
See, here's the thing.
Okay.
Death Awaits You. Right. Death Awaits You 3 supposedly came out in 2013.
All right.
Death Awaits You 2 came out in 2015, and Death Awaits You 1 doesn't exist anymore.
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
I want to say that these 3 albums are the only 3 albums other than, let's see, You'll Never Smoked Crack and Pure Music. These are now the only 5 albums that came out in 2013, and there are no albums from 2014 and like 2 from 2015.
Wow.
So
what
there's
was the year that probably released one every day?
2015.
Okay.
So we've lost hundreds of albums between
literally over 1,000 albums.
Yeah,
literally over 1,000 albums.
Hopefully they'll be recovered. I really hope that our episode where we explained the Spotify dilemma didn't ruin Viper's Spotify account. But
has Viper said anything about this? Let me get onto Twitter.
He's Twitter. Probably too busy spamming out tweets about his son being sold to white families.
Yeah, probably.
He's still on that, by the way. Also, I want to point out, shout out to the Viper the Rapper subreddit again. They shared some interesting information that I did not know about Last FM. You ever use Last FM?
Not in years, but I used to, yeah.
But it's the thing with the scrobbles, right? You get like scrobbles for being listened to on there. It's great. Anyway, apparently there's this thing where fans of bands that have the same name have like wars in comment sections about who deserves the rights to the name.
Okay.
And so I was informed that the issue with the Vipers, specifically the metal band and Lee Carter, although not known about on YouTube, was something on Last FM that was a big deal because it was also being uploaded on the same Last FM channel. And yeah, I did see that one. But apparently there's a large war, the War of the Scrobbles for Viper, between Portuguese
Viper?
People and
people
Houstonites. From Houston. Yeah. So go fight in the wars. Also, can we get some love to Viper? Not really, but can we get his Spotify songs back so we have a show to make?
Okay.
Because the show's going to be a lot less interesting when we run out of Viper albums in like 1 more week.
Yeah, that's going to suck. And then, although after that, I had an idea for what we should do after we run out of Viper albums.
We still got 3 movies.
We got 3 movies, but then after that, we should just do a post show, like a post show podcast for Ancient Aliens. We should just watch every fucking episode of Ancient Aliens.
I'm in.
And do an episode about it.
So stay tuned for Ancient Aliens, Minecraft parodies.
They're
really coming.
We're not changing.
No, it's still the same. I expect a full album's worth of Minecraft parodies coming soon.
Have we talked about it on the show, or is that just
very little? I brought it up at the end of the video 2 weeks ago, I guess, because you said I'm Garrett, and I said, and stay tuned for Minecraft parodies. Oh no, that was the one I just edited. That was episode 10.
Okay.
Because I just I guess they'll know, but I just hard cut it after you said I hate that. Bye, and then ended it. So yeah, I'm working on that. That's going to be exciting. I've already got 3 bangers ready to ship out. I just got to probably going to abuse Garrett's friendship with Atticus Lane again to get some beats, rips, and then we're going to make some sick Minecraft parodies
for Viper.
It's going to be 15 songs. It's going to be right around an hour.
And it's going to be atrocious.
Awesome.
And it's going to drive you legitimately insane.
It's going to be awesome.
Why didn't we do Hustlin' Thick so we could have features? We should have done some parodies. I want to do a Picardi
I've only written 3 of them. We can do it.
That's true.
Wait, no, I did do one from that.
Yeah,
I did
a feature?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the In the Hood.
In the Hood. I can do that.
Oh,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Anyway,
well,
thanks
Garrett,
for watching. I'm Will.
And we'll see you next week, maybe.